Problem 16. The mean annual tuition and fees of a sample of 14 private colleges in California was 37,900 with a standard deviation of 7,200. A dot plot shows that it is reasonable to assume that the population is approximately normal. Can you conclude that the mean tuition and fees for private institutions in California differs from 35,000? So, and the question asking us ABC, but we perform the whole process for the hypothesis testing. We answer ABC already. So for step number 1 or step 0 first, we write out the given information. So the given information in the problem give us 14, 7,200, 37,900. So we know that the sample size is 14. The mean, they're talking about the mean for 14 private colleges was 37,900. So that will be X bar because that is the mean for 14,000 private colleges. That is the sample mean. And the standard deviation. So with a standard deviation, so the word with mean connect with the whole sentence. They're talking about the 14 private colleges. So that is a sample standard deviation. And the question asking us that can you conclude that? So this is the question. Can you conclude that the mean tuition and fee? So we use the mean tuition and fee is mu. They're talking about the mean tuition and fee for private institution. That means for all of them in California differ 35,000. Now, step number 1, we will state the null and the alternative hypothesis. For the null, under the null, we always assume that the population mean is equal to 35,000. We always use the population parameter for this. And opposite to equal sign will be greater than, less than, or not equal to. In this case, we will look at the question. The question mentioned about the difference that means not equal to. So we will use not equal to 35,000. And under the alternative hypothesis, we know that we will use two-tail test. Step number 2, we choose the alpha. The alpha already given to us is 0.01. Now step number 3, we compute the test statistic. Test statistic is formula is T equal X bar minus mu naught divided by S over square root of N. We will plug in the number. So X bar is 37,900 minus mu naught. Mu naught is mu under the null, and that is 35,000 divided by S is 7,200 over square root of 14. So we calculate this number. On the top is 2,900. So 2,900, and we divide it by 7,200 multiply square root of 14. And we will get 1.507 and so on. And for the t, we will take 2 decimal places, and it depends on the test problem. They will ask you, I will ask you how many places that we should route. Okay, so in this case we can do 2 or 1. Step number 4, we will calculate the p value. Okay, so first let's draw the t distribution, the student distribution. We said that we use the two-tailed test in step number 1. This part will be alpha, and because we use two-tailed test, so we will have alpha divided by 2. 0.01 divided by 2 is 0.005. So 0.005. So just this part only, we have the degree of freedom is 14 minus 1 and minus 1, and that is 13. So you go to the GeoGebra, and then we choose the T, the student distribution. We do 13. We do the right tail, and we will input the 0.005. That gives us 3.01. So this point right here is 3.01. 3.01. And this is the T critical. So this is critical value, positive and negative. Okay. We are doing the critical value first. And 1.51 land on here. So let's assume that we have 0 right here. So 1.51 is between 0 and 3.01. So this region is do not reject. The shaded region is reject region. And we have the number that land on do not reject region. So we have the decision is do not reject the null. So step number 6, we go back to step number 1 because the null is step number 1. We do not reject the null. It is the same meaning as we keep the null. So the null state that mean equal to 35,000. Okay. So we would say that the mean is 35,000. And look at the question is asking that can you conclude that the mean tuition and fee for private institution in California differs? But we just have the decision is mean is the same as 35,000. So answer this question, we will say no, the mean tuition and fees for private tuition institutions in California does not differ from. Okay, so is we copy this sentence. We copy this question, and then we will put does not differ. From there, then we will say does not differ from 35,000. For the p-value method, we just did the critical value method. So p-value method starting from step 0 until step number 3. Then to find the p-value, you do the two-tail also. And then we will input 1.51. Okay, so we get the p is 0.0775. 0.0775. Okay, so since we are doing two tails, so we will multiply the p by 2. So the p is 0.0775 times 2 is 0.155. And this number is greater than 0.05. So when the number p number is greater than 0.05, we do not reject. And again, we multiply by 2 because we are using two tail. When you are doing one tail, we don't multiply by 2, okay? So we do not reject the null because the p-value is greater than alpha 0.05. And the decision is we do not reject the null. The conclusion, step number 6, will be the same as in the critical method. So we finished the problem, and I also answer A, B, and C. So now let's do this problem using the GeoGebra. The GeoGebra is much similar. We just input the information and we will get the answer right away. So you will use the t-test of a mean. For the null, we will input 35,000. And we use not equal to. Then the sample mean. The sample mean is 37900. The standard deviation is 7200. The sample size is 14. So you can see right here that in the very last line, the p is 0.1557. That is the p-value. And the p-value is 0.1557. And the t, the line that the next to the last line, the t 1.5071, that is the test statistic. The degree of freedom is 13. Okay, so you go back to our problem and it's matching the same, right?